in season 8, when she makes that highly controversial and just like wrong decision, she avoids the Red Keep and then just keeps killing everybody. Just blow up the Red Keep at least first, and then if you're still mad, I guess. But like on the way, she was just like, "Nah, it's the kids that I want to murder." Like what? Season 2. So that's season 1, and then so season 2 is the aftermath. Is the Red Wedding season 2?
That's like season 3 or 4, I think.
Yeah, season 2 is like the build-up of Rob's army. And like him just being like, fuck y'all, you know, which was great. I loved Rob too.
What does Tyrion do in season 2?
If I'm not mistaken, he like goes to battle, and then they don't show the battle because he immediately gets hit in the head or something. I think that's season 2, and where he also meets, is it Shay? That's her name?
The Battle of Blackwater Bay.
Shay's her name, right? The
Shay's
yeah. I think that's where he meets Shay for the first time, and then his dad is like, dude, you have to go to King's Landing. I'm putting you as the hand. I hate doing this, but you're the only one I can send because Jamie is gone.
Yep.
There's also all the what's the king's name? The not Tommen, the one everybody hates.
Oh, Joffrey.
Yeah, there's all the Joffrey scenes of tormenting.
God, I'm happy that kid quit acting because he's forever tainted. There's nothing I could see him in now. Even when I saw him in Batman Begins, I was like, there's that little fucker.
A little asshole.
Yeah, and he's supposed to be the nice little, like, you know, none of the kids believe me when I say you're real. And you're just like, fuck this kid.
That little shit out of here.
He kind of looked like a knockoff Jesse McCartney. I always thought like
he kind of looks like. So I'm trying to think of like the best. Like it's an actor. It's like not a known actor. Ooh, he's in Gotham. He's the Penguin. He looks like a kid version of that fucking guy.
Cobblepot?
Yeah, like the
actor.
Not the like
someone's name.
The Penguin
like
in Batman,
in the show Gotham, like the CW show Gotham, the Penguin, the character that's the Penguin, like he's in.
Oh God!
Now you see,
yeah, that monstrosity.
Yeah, that guy.
What was his name again?
Cobblepot.
Yeah,
that's his name.
I want that to be my name so bad. That's so good.
Cobblepot.
I will never forgive Brandon for coming up to me and going, "Dude, you should watch Gotham. It's a great show."
You should never.
Furious.
For that.
Furious. I watched the first episode and the Riddler character, I shit you not, the first fucking like 2 minutes goes, riddle me this. And he's supposed to be like a forensic expert.
Cool.
So he's on a police crime scene and just going, well, detective, riddle me this. He has no hand and his ass is full. What do you think happened?
Shut the fuck up.
It's not very on the nose. Or it is very on the nose.
It was I don't remember what he
Do you know what he told me one of his favorite movies was in the past couple years? Get ready. Morbius was one of his favorite films.
Not shocking.
And I started laughing and he was like, "What are you laughing about?" And I was like, "Dude, that movie was awful." And he was like, "It wasn't that bad. It was like a 90s, superhero film." And I was like, that's not a good thing.
Yeah. Why, bro, anytime your reaction if someone's like, that movie was awful, and if someone's like, I know so many people like this, they'll go, it wasn't that bad. And I'm like, what? That's your defense for the movie? It wasn't that bad?
I've watched most of it, unfortunately, because if I'm going to hate something pure, like, to the core, then I have to have seen it. I watched most of it, and I couldn't watch the last stupid CGI like battle that they were gonna do. And I hated Matt Smith in it. Love him and everything else, but I hated him in this. Like he does like a 2-minute little dance number when he turns into a vampire.
Fuck yeah, why not?
And it is just so, like, that's the best part of the movie. Everything else, you're just like, what is going on? Like, this isn't enjoyable bad. This is just boring bad. Like, this is awful. Like, his little superpower test moment, stupid. Awful. I have echolocation. And then it gives you this weird CGI, like, whoosh effect on everything, and you're supposed to be like, whoa.
Was it as dumb as the Indiana Jones with Shia LaBeouf?
More.
It was more, but they find aliens.
Yeah, it was more.
It was more. Really?
Yeah. He literally finds the cure to his made-up disease by just cutting his hand on he has like a harp string in front of a cave, and he's just like, if I cut my hand and put it in front of this, we'll somehow take something from the bats. And then the bats surround him, and then he turns into Morbius because the bats give him his power.
Were they radioactive bats?
Not that I remember. I just remember he went to some special island and then put a harp in front of it.
Was it a radioactive harp?
Yeah. Probably.
Something had to have been.
Something. Yeah. That's what I'm saying, because otherwise this is nonsense. But if one thing is radioactive, I'll forgive the whole movie.
I mean, it's still
a radioactive bat.
Yeah, like a radioactive bat. A radioactive bat bites the harp.
It's like a Marvel stipulation. How did he get his superpowers? Has to be radioactive, or he died and came back.
Yeah, Wolverine, radioactive Wolverine.
Iron Man technically died, came back. Mm-hmm. They had to put a little shindig in his chest. I mean, all of them.
The Hulk is just radiation. It's really just like whatever.
Wasn't it microwaves that made him?
Gamma radiation.
Gamma. I was about to say, damn, dude.
That's hilarious.
Microwaves.
They just put him next to a bunch of microwaves turned on, and he's like, I feel something.
I feel angry.
Put that shit on fucking defrost.
They tied him down in a chair and they're just burning popcorn bags.
Damn, dude.
Think about all of the microwaves reaching him, and he's like just struggling in his chair. It's just like they come back, he's just dead from like fucking all those.
Cooked. Like,
oh man,
all the doors are open.
They're just like, well, you got cancer, but
take that, superhero.
We were trying to make a radioactive super person, but we just kind of gave you cancer. So sorry.
God, dude. That's just another one off the list. You keep trying this; it keeps not working.
Oh my god!
This is the fourth guy. I don't get it.
I don't get what we're doing. Maybe we need more microwaves. I would love to be like a financer in that world or any of the world. Like I would be like imagine you need money from like just to like fund your ridiculousness, or like even just to build it. You have to get certain things approved. Imagine you have to go to like Batman's house and they're like, so you want to build a tunnel inside of the Batcave that you built underneath your house. And by the way, how did you create a Batcave? Doesn't matter. You want us to make a lineway for your car that goes from the Batcave that you made underneath your house all the way into your garage? Yes. Why do you need that? And also, why is there a hangar here for a bat-shaped plane?
How did you get the materials here?
Fuck that. How did you get this approved to build in this location?
Morgan Freeman.
Yeah. Just a contractor in the cave. All of this is weak structure. You can't put anything up here.
None of this is up to code. Yeah, you're going to have to shut this whole operation down.
That's a falling accident waiting to happen.
And whole thing is underneath a school. Like, children are going in and out of school, and it's underneath. Like, why does the runway span several miles? Like
a ramp to get the car out? Completely unacceptable.
You built a Lazy Susan for your car. They're gonna find out about this.
Your power bill must be through the roof.
Yeah, well, that's actually a really good point. Like the power bill, that's actually got to be really insane.
Yeah, and how do you explain that off? It's just like, so your mansion, we know it's usually pretty high, but your electric bill is $40,000 more than it was last month.
But what's really funny though is that like that would be such a dumb detail to like include in a movie. Like there's like a segment of a Batman movie where like they explain the solar panels, you know, like the shit would be like cast, like
the bat panels, they're all shaped like Batman signal.
I would love to write a movie.
They get moonlight.
I'd love to write a movie where there is that character. So like the plot's happening, and then like every so often we dedicate some minutes to this guy trying to tell him these things are not up to code, like they're not approved. Like, yeah, just like a regular person, like, no, you can't do this. Well, I'm sorry. So look, this is a movie. Well, the movie can't happen because this is illegal. All of it. You can't do this.
That should be Bryan Cranston.
Yeah, it should be. It should be.
Oh my god.
This is wrong. Like, imagine Batman going on and Bryan Cranston's just like in the background taking notes and just constantly looking like, is that a plane?
Like, he turns out to be the villain of the movie because he's just shutting down the Batcave.
About to audit him. Like, this guy is not paying his taxes either.
He doesn't have permits for any of this. Look, I'm a proud OSHA member, and I just can't do this in good conscience.
Oh my gosh.
Just like the fucking Denver airport of fucking bat caves.
He's seeing all the relics that Batman has, like that giant penny, and he's like, you have nothing securing this. This is a hazard. This could just fall.
It's just a giant fucking penny. I could just push this, and then there's a giant penny on the loose. Oh my god. That's hilarious. Holy shit.
The entire guy just call him like Dave.
Yeah, it's something. It's Bryan Cranston. Why is there a piranha tank in here? That's the bat piranha tank.
They're actually bat piranhas, if you didn't know.
Why do you need this? Yeah, it's just to scare people.
Who?
Only you live here. Like, what?
Sometimes when Robin's being a dick, I threaten to dunk him in there.
This guy has to know that he's Batman. It's like so I would do that at the beginning of the movie.
Batman just puts a cloth on all of his bat signals.
But he does that while the guy's already there. Like, oh, so what's going on? It's just. He's like, Bruce,
he keeps like about to look over somewhere. He's like, oh fuck.
Bruce, I know you're Batman. I really just need you to get these things permitted. Like, I just need you to sign these papers and.
Bring this up to code.
Please, God.
I'm imagining a scenario where he's like hanging like college like tapestries on everything, you know, like with the
like
the mandalas or whatever on them, or like
he's just hanging shit up over him.
With all of his souvenirs and stuff, they're always like perfectly organized. Do you think he had an interior designer come too? Just like it's just like, okay, darling, we're gonna get this whole room set up. You have memorabilia, perfect.
You're gonna want to put the bat symbol here. The whole time the penguin's locked up, like, hey, help! It's just like, don't worry about him. Now, where should I put this bat suit?
I love that you're like in this impression, like channeling Edna mode.
Yeah.
No. The color scheme is all wrong. Like, it's all black. That's the problem, darling.
You need some blues in here. All right.
Don't you know anything about color theory?
God. That guy exists, though. Yeah, for sure. Batman isn't a genius and also an interior decorator. Like, he definitely brought in someone for that. And I hope he met him as Batman. So he stayed in character the whole time, like, what color do you think works best here?
He's just like, what kind of shower curtain should I put over here? Should I put the one with my symbol all over it, or just the black?
Have you ever seen those pictures on Twitter of the conversation pits? Like it's like a part of your living room that's like sunken down to where it's like a couch. It's like literally like a pit. Imagine like someone trying to pitch that to Batman for the Batcave. Just like
it's just like, why would we hang out here? There's crime to fight.
I mean, well, you got a pool table set up over there. It just seems like that's for me.
I use that when I need to think.
That's the bat pool table. Don't touch that.
Okay, well, and that's the bat stick. You can't touch that either.
Well, there's a pool over there. That's the bat pool. Batman's kind of Donald Trump.
Just he just has everything down there that he just won't let any of the kids he's adopted use.
That's mine. That's pretty much what happened.
Robin, you better not be using my computer.
That's pretty much all what happened with Terry McGinnis. He was like, this is a cool suit. That's my suit. All right, you can be Batman beyond. Whatever.
But I'll shut you down if you piss me off.
And don't you dare touch the original suit. Oh, my God. gosh.
Terry, you weren't watching porn on here again, were you?
Why do you still talk like that? You're 70 years old.
I'm kind of stuck. This is a cry for help.
Voice box is permanently damaged when I went and did that movie for Christopher Nolan. I don't know why he told me to talk like that. I just did.
After 30 takes, I couldn't stop.
He sounds exhausted. For all those movies, dude. He sounds
every time he starts to scream, you just see him like that buildup of air into his lungs, and he just.
I remember.
Where were the other drugs going?
It's most noticeable for me in the second one where he's like, "I'm not wearing a hockey man." It's such a long breath out. I'm not wearing a hockey man.
He also does that in the first one too, when he's revealing to Rachel he's Bruce, and he's just. What is the whole fucking speech that she gives? It's like it's not about who you know. But he basically does that whole speech in a long-winded voice, and he goes, "Sometimes it's not about what you do.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
But what you do it for."
Yeah, God, he does.
And then she's like, "Bruce?"
No.
That's not me.
Why are you talking like that?
Or when he just like fighting Ra's al Ghul at the end, he's like, "I won't save you, but I won't kill you either."
Batman, breathe.
I skipped leg day.
This is hard, dude.
Oh my God. Jesus Christ. Well,
they gave him a break in the third one because he just had to like open his eyes for half the movie and just be like,
That's true. He was pretty.
That was his anime moment. All he had to do was anime grunting that whole movie.
Yeah. So cool. But yeah, okay, so back to Game of Thrones. Jesus. So then season 3, was that the Red Wedding? What happens in season 3?
Season 3, I think, is the Red Wedding. That would make sense. I can't imagine they would stretch that out for 3 seasons. In the book, which is weird, in the book, Robb, the Stark mother, she like comes back as a zombie in the book.
There's a lot of things in the books I wish they do.
Yeah, that would have been cool to have her come back to get revenge, like she does in the book, instead of Arya doing. I mean, I liked her getting revenge. That was still fine. I just hated her killing the Night King.
I feel like they should... Listen, we gotta... All right, so let's get all the great things out of the way first. Fuck going in order. Because this is starting... Oh, I'm pissed off already.
Look, Tyrion was incredible all the way up until he killed his dad. And then after that, I hated him for pretty much the rest of the show. So he was great up until then.
I wanted to like him. That's the thing. Like, it's not like... when he was only annoying looking back. I genuinely enjoyed Tyrion throughout the whole... Because I was like, all right, he's a cooking of something up. Wasn't.
He like
no, he wasn't.
Wasn't at all.
The first several seasons, he just out-acts everybody in the scene with him, and then I think after like season 6 or something like that, like he can. I think you can kind of tell like there's not as much direction as there should be, and things are flying way too fast, and he's just like, "Fuck it." You know,
right. And he like that's the thing, and he can almost even see. What is the actor's name?
Oh, dude, I know it.
I know it too.
Oh, yeah, I do.
For some reason, I'm thinking O'Creedy. That's not right.
O'Creedy?
That's not right.
O'Creedy?
Yeah, I don't know why I thought that.
For some reason, I keep wanting to say Don Rickles.
Yeah, that's not right either. That's not it either.
Peter Dinklage. There
it is.
It took me a second. I don't know why I had to use Don Rickles to get there.
O'Creedy.
O'Creedy? Damn, he's such a good fucking actor.
He's amazing.
He's so fucking good.
He's amazing, but he kind of, even like with the direction, like you could kind of tell, and he's like, every time he'd say something, he'd kind of be like, and this is what we need to do. Right? Like, he's like unsure of every line of dialogue he has.
Yeah, well.
Pedro Pascal was great in it, if we're talking about other parts.
Yeah, we got to get all the great things.
Go ahead and get him out of the way so we can get the Pedro done.
He was amazing.
He was great.
All of the stories are good. I also like, too, how in the beginning of the show, too, like they kind of skip through most of the battles. Like, you don't see them.
Yeah.
Because, like, the show isn't just about the battles. It's more about, like, to me, at least, the politics and the scheming and all that.
Yeah, the game.
And so I like, there's the the battle where Tyrion gets knocked out before it even happens, so you don't see it, and like I really like that, because then when you start to see them, you're like, oh my god, like, you know.
Yeah, they're really something to behold all the way up until the greatest thing the show has ever done, the Battle of Bastards.
God, so fucking good. That is the greatest battle scene I've seen to date.
You know, I was talking to you guys about how like they did that by accident because they weren't allowed to fly drones overhead, and so they shot it from Jon's perspective, and like that was like the thing that made it so great. And I was kind of like mad because like, why didn't they ever do that again? But like they kind of did. I watched back through it again, and like one scene that I enjoyed a lot more than I remembered was the Battle of King's Landing, as the dragon's just destroying everything, and you see Arya running, and it's just like people getting obliterated, and there's blood and smoke everywhere, and she's coughing and keeps getting knocked out, and like people are just getting torn. It just follows her. Like so many shots are just one shot of her just like, gah!
Yeah,
literally that does. Well, and with the horse, I can't tell because we're getting all the good stuff out of the way. I was just
the horse.
I can't. We're still getting the good stuff out of the way. Just like, oh, I'm so angry already. Okay. So good thing.
It started, and I really was enjoying the kind of backstory mythology of like the ancient trees, the gods and stuff that they were doing with Bran, you know, having to become the Raven's
You said
Eye.
Bran, we're still on good stuff.
I am.
Okay.
I'm saying before they dropped it.
When I get started, I'll never.
Because by the end of season 6, you're on a high with Bran's story, and you're like, because I mean, fucking Hodor, one of the most impactful moments in TV history.
That's
Hold
true.
the door.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
God. I do like. I wish they would have shown more of him learning from the, because like the way that I interpreted it the last time I watched it was that he spent like months with the Three-Eyed Raven, and you don't see any of it. And maybe like a lot of it was boring, but like whenever it would flash back to him after like it'd be like 2 episodes go by, and then you finally see him again, and it's like all this time has passed, but there's like no way to know that. There's one part where like the woman that accompanies him, that's the sister to the brother that's helping him. I can't remember her name, but she mentions that all they've eaten for so long is just moss, and that's the only clue that we have for how much time has passed. And I don't know. I wish we could have seen more of that, or at least just like understood that he's been there working the whole time. To me, it just felt like he's been there 2 days, and like then they're leaving.
Yeah.
My biggest complaint, I'll say, with that whole part, I'm just gonna break a little bit into some negative here, is that they built up this really interesting story of the Night King, and then don't deliver on it at all. And if it didn't matter, why show us?
There's so many things they did that didn't matter, like because. Like I'm fine with the results, I guess, of the way that things turned out in season 8. I'm fine with a lot of that. I just wish they would have like expanded on it. It just happened so quickly. But like with Jon being a Targaryen, like he finds that out, and then it's like, oh, this is really useful information. Except for no, it's not. Like they never do anything with it other than just cause tension between him and Dany. Like to me, like he didn't have to kill the Night King. That didn't have to happen for me. And he didn't have to be the king, and he didn't have to do. But he did. It needed to be important that he was a Targaryen, you know, and I don't know.
I just hate that they build the prophecy up.
Yeah, that he said, "Hey, now we're on to what we hate about this motherfucking show." All right.
Well,
yes. Oh, you gotta
I just
let him finish.
Yeah. I just hate that they built up this prophecy, and even in House of Dragons, they're building it back up that it's been this thing for thousands of years. It's like the one thing that the Targaryens know to be true, that their lineage is only, supposed to last so long just so that they can defeat the darkness.
Right.
You know, that is just like the known thing. So I kind of have an issue with Jon not defeating them. And I would have been fine if he united the all of Westeros. Like it came down to like, I love you, Dany, and we're cousins, but at least we're not brother and sister. And they become king and queen or something. I know it's difficult to do that and it be satisfying, but the way that they did it was not satisfying.
I loved I really like in concept, like in theory, Daenerys going crazy and becoming violent. I like that it's in theory, it's cool, but what happens is like the way that they like lead up to it just really sucks. Like I think like one of her first like truly like quote unquote evil things is she burns the Tarleys, and Tyrion's like, no, don't burn them, and it's like, to me it's crazy because like, why not?
Yeah,
like why the fuck
they
not?
won't bend the knee.
It
makes sense.
Yeah, like in Essos. I mean, they're just killing people left and right. No one gave a fuck. Tyrion wasn't all like, oh no, like don't. There's like, and I don't know, dude.
No, that's completely true. It was like they want you to see her. It's crazy because it's like everything that they did, they thought that they were slowly justifying Dany burning women, children, and just overall just innocent people who had nothing to do with. They weren't leading up to that. Like at worst, I assume, she might get a little dirty when she gets mad, sure, but like, because she like in season 8 when she makes that highly controversial and just like wrong decision, she avoids the Red Keep and then just keeps killing everybody. Blow up the Red Keep at least first, and then if you're still mad, I guess, but like. On the way, she was just like, nah, it's the kids that I want to murder.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Dude, I really think it could have been done, like, where we could have had a couple seasons where Dany, like, starts to, like, they talk about in the show how, like, every time a Targaryen is born, it's a flip of the coin. And it could have been this thing where, like, for seasons, like, she's kind of battling with this, like, violent nature that she has, where, like, she's starting to come to terms with the fact that she has these violent impulses, and where it's ultimately comes down to her to make the decision to be violent or not. And it could be one of those things where like everybody kind of sees her slipping and everybody's offering her counsel, and like she's maybe even trying really hard to not give in to this like this violent side of her. And then at the end when she does it, like we're like, oh, well, that makes sense, and
right.
But
not because she didn't have enough friends around.
Yeah,
which is how it happened.
Because the way they did it. Won't fuck her.
Yeah,
that's why
he won't bang me, and none of my friends are here, so I'm gonna go crazy. It just, I get why they lead towards that. For the story's sake, and whenever the book finally comes out and we know exactly, because he said it wasn't too far off from how he wanted it to end. So I'm like, it can happen and it could be fine, but I just hope the book expands on it so that it is actually satisfying, because that was such a rush to the finish line. They were clearly just like, we're done.
Yeah, they were
fucking done.
Jumping ship to do Star Wars, I think.
Yeah, and then that blew up.
Yeah, I mean, shit, dude.
I would like to think that someone sat them down. I would like to think that someone with Lucasfilm was a Game of Thrones fan and sat them down and was like, hey, so...
Fuck no.
Yeah, I'm not going to even...
You're not doing that to another franchise.
Kathleen Kennedy is still the GOAT, but I'm going to tell you this right now. If you agree, you're going to turn up missing tomorrow. So I would walk away from this project if I were you. Like,
I also really, really, really hated Arya's end.
What's west of what? Like
what's west of Westeros?
We already know. It's the other continent on that side.
Yeah.
But she honestly though, what if she just circled around back to Essos? Like, just Christopher Columbus.
Just.
She thinks she's in India, like
she's just dealing with the wildlings.
It's just the other side of the wildlings. John's like, Arya, what's going on? I'm gonna call this west of Westeros. No, this is just.
This is now Easteros.
Okay, like she's just quit to becoming like she could. The thing is, like all of the endings, if they wanted those, they just had to earn them.
God damn it! I hate that. Brand the Unbroken or Brand the Broken.
Yeah. When Tyrion's ass started talking, that's when I knew I was like, I think I hate this character. Now, this is about to be some bullshit. This is the first time I was like, oh, Tyrion, please don't. He's like, and who has a better story than Brand the
Literally
Broken?
Everyone.
And then that's exactly what I said. I was like, everyone. Yeah. Literally everyone there.
Yeah.
Grey Worm. The Unsullied has a better story than Bran, the handicapped person who didn't do anything.
Wait, can we talk about how weird it was that, like, Missandei and Grey Worm like find a way to have sex. Like how weird that was.
Yeah.
What did they do again?
So like
she suckled on the stump, and I think he ate her out.
Dude, yeah, there's like a there's like a scene it teases up to it where like she's like bathing in a river and he's just staring at her, and she's like, "Hello." And then she talks to Daenerys about it, and Daenerys is like, well, it's fine. Like, like, they can't. And so then, like, he goes to apologize, and they start hooking up, but they have to, like, find a way to have sex. I don't know. But, you would think, like if your job is to castrate an army, like... I feel like it's easier to if your intention is to castrate somebody, it's got to be way easier to just do that than like accidentally not do it. Like I feel like so many things have to go wrong in this process to where like you can leave them able to have sex.
To have some sort of sex. Yeah. No, yeah, exactly.
We'll give you We'll give you 2 inches, bud. We'll give you some hope.
Cut it off.
I'm assuming they just snipped it off and left the balls, which makes abs like because like you can leave the penis and I mean not that I know, but that's just because like they in this world they talk about how Varys can't grow facial hair because he had his balls chopped off at a young age. I don't know the anatomy. I don't know how that works, but I'm assuming your balls create testosterone. So like. If you don't have those, your body just doesn't ever change.
Right.
So, like, why would you cut the other part off? Well, I guess maybe they need the testosterone to be badass warriors. I don't know.
They just don't want a release form.
I guess, yeah, I don't know.
We want you to have blue balls at all times.
That I never thought because that is really stupid. That whoever was just chopping off unsullied wieners was just...
He just liked looking at wieners.
Yeah. He was just messing around. He just had a goofy little time.
He accidentally cut one, and he was like, "Oh fuck, goofy. I gotta do the rest now."
Yeah, I got it so they don't know. Oh my gosh.
Because the rest of them look horrified.
Dude, also, I would have loved in that scene where like she unfrees the Unsullied. Like she's like, "You were all free men. If you wish to serve me, serve me. If not, you may leave. No one will." React. Mm-hmm. But like no one I wish like just like 2 or 3 people would have just like
just like left like
it's like all right, bet see y'all.
I mean she's nice and everything, but I mean I'm free.
Yeah.
So
I'm outie.
I'm out of here. Where is your honor? I guess I'll find it.
My dick is chopped off. I don't care.
It's like that episode of Rick and Morty, like, dude, well, I didn't know I had to chop off my dick, so I've hated it ever since.
Oh man. Also, I want to point out what's her name? Is it Melisandre? Something like no.
That's Danny's friend.
No, that's the fire lady.
Oh yeah, that's the fire lady. Yeah.
I also want to point out that like her ultimate sacrifice to it felt stupid to me. Her whole thing was like Jon's the one. He's the one. I'm going to bring him back.
And then she found Arya. She's the one. You don't even fucking know, do you?
And then she's like, you know what? I'm good. I'm just going to go walk out and die real quick.
Yeah. She was so fucking... her whole character.
And she'd been living for like hundreds of years, apparently. Yeah. Like, she went to everybody was like, you're the one. Actually, you're the one.
Yeah, she did that with Robert Baratheon, or not Robert
she
Baratheon.
Did that,
Stannis Baratheon, Stannis, and then she did it to Jon. Then she does it to Arya.
Did she do it to Khaleesi too at some point?
Yeah. There's like a conversation about how the hero that's foretold, it's a genderless noun, so it could be
a woman.
Yeah.
You are the one. And she just keeps walking.
It's just anyone she's attracted to. You're the one.
You're the one.
Dude, I genuinely believe she spends more time on screen naked than with clothes on.
Oh, didn't she tell, what is the Robert Baratheon's bastard, Gendry, you are the one. And then she fucked him and then...
Had a baby?
Tried to kill him.
Yeah. She's hilarious. Dude, she's so fucking funny.
Dude, I unironically maybe a little ironically love her. So when there's that scene when she takes off her necklace and turns into the old lady, and Lauren, I was watching it with Lauren, and Lauren goes, she looks like, have you guys seen, the movie with the Airbnb and the tunnels and the
Barbarian?
Yeah, she looks like the lady from Barbarian.
I haven't seen that. That sounds terrifying. She looks terrifying.
Yeah, she was pretty awful to look at in Barbarian.
Yeah, not a...
That's a great movie, by the way.
That's a good ass movie, dude. God damn, that's a good movie.
Maybe I'll see it. Maybe I'll see it,
dude. And so on this topic, I wish there was more horror in Game of Thrones. Like there are some moments that are a little.
There's so much
horror-ish.
potential too.
Yeah, like I mean, like some real long slow shots where the camera's like, just suffocating the audience and because I mean, fucking zombies and Night Kings and
there's plenty of stuff.
I mean, you get a little bit of that with Arya, Kimbo slicing her way through the Battle of Winterfell and she's inside sneaking around, and that was kind of cool, but it was more like action. I want to see just some, but then again too, they're just flying through material the entire show. I mean, there's so much you got to cram into.
I feel that there's so much there, but I agree. I think there's so much room and potential for there to be so many horror moments done right. But earlier, that moment was with Arya is nice, but it's and the battle for Winterfell. Which, by the way, there's no reason that they should have won. There's
so many times during that episode, you just and he's dead, and then you're like, wait.
But then the camera just cuts away, and it comes back, and it's oh, they're fine, I guess.
Yeah, you're just yeah, they're dead. They just got clobbered by a wave of zombies.
And then all the zombies all the dead just come back to life, and you're like, dude,
the more people die, the more the Night King gets soldiers. There was a way to write, because some people did die. It felt like they were just writing off pretty much some NPCs.
Like Jorah, dude. Jorah
rest
died,
in peace, Jorah. I like that character so much.
He was good, yeah.
But man,
they just didn't know where to go for him. They were just like,
fuck it, we'll kill you.
Yeah,
fuck it.
He's not gonna get to bang Khaleesi. So,
dude, I saw this. One of the funniest Game of Thrones things that I saw was there's when they're reading the script for the first time, and it's Jon Snow reading that he's not the one that's gonna kill the Night King, it's Arya, and he's like, oh, and somebody said that's the best acting he's done all season. Just pretending to be happy.
Fuck. But then, dude, there's a documentary, might have been the same one, where it was where he's talking and it's going from every actor's reaction to Arya King, the Night King, and it goes, the one before Jon is Dany, so it's Emilia Clarke, and she's like, so everyone's there and we're reading and we're like, oh, is Jon gonna get him? No, Jon's not gonna get him. It's oh, am I gonna get him? Oh, I'm not gonna get him. And it's oh, whoa, that's really cool. And then it goes to Jon, and it goes to Kit Harington, and he's just I was pissed. He was just hey, you ask anyone, and he just completely straight faced I was pissed. Yeah. You ask anyone, I was supposed to kill the Night King.
It's funny to see them talk about it on the red carpet when they're so what did you what were the feelings going through your head this last season? And they're all just it was a lot of emotion. It's over now.
I wish you'd stop asking about it.
Yeah, this is the red carpet. Go figure it out for yourself.
I don't know. Why don't you just ask anyone here how they thought it was? We probably agree. How about that? It's the same with Mark Hamill and the Last Jedi. He was just doing press returns you guys are gonna want to listen to me because this is not Luke Skywalker. Oh yeah, Luke. Yeah, this is a totally new take on the character. No, it's completely different. You don't understand. It's almost not even me. Oh, this must be really good. Please look at me. Look in my eyes. I'm not Luke Skywalker in the movie. Oh, that's so great, Mark Hamill. He's just dude, slowly falling apart.
Do you remember when he changed his tune? I think Disney finally was look.
Yeah, they found the videos. They were you can't keep telling people that this is a bad movie, but it is.
Man, dude. That fucking movie. Honestly, man, I don't like the movie, man, but there are so many things I did love about the movie.
Yeah, there's moments for sure, but I think that if they had a direction, I think
it could have been great.
It could have been great. It could have been great.
I mean, yeah, dude. Honestly, I mean, why, dude? Why even make a movie 40 years after taking place 40 years? I get it, that's
after the most gigantic galactic event that's ever happened. So
and they did just hit reset. If it's if it was gonna be a new threat, if the Yuuzhan Vong was coming, I'd watch the fuck out of it. Even if it was bad movies, we would sit through those things. If people thought the prequels were bad, I don't really remember how I thought when I first watched prequels, but in hindsight, they're great. I love them, except for maybe Whatever. Look, the point is, like, if they were,
they're
like,
enjoyably bad though.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, and so I would sit through, like, if they did like a Yu Zhang Van story, like about them coming to invade, and you're following a new Jedi, or just made up a completely new, like, alien race or people fighting, like, just do that. But just like to hit reset like that, to basically be fighting the Empire as the rebels again for 3 new movies, to just do the same shit, literally the same shit for 3 more movies. Like
my favorite thing is it just really seems like the feeling that you get is like in between the original trilogy and the sequels. It's like no one's been doing anything. Mm-hmm. You know, like Luke's just kind of been chilling. Like he goes on a hunt for Force artifacts or something. I guess I don't know.
Wait, is that Luke? What he did to when he was absent? Like Luke? Yeah. Oh yeah. Because that's what they did in the Rise of Skywalker. He was. Like they were looking at the traces he left behind to find like a Sith dagger or something. But like, why was he?
Who fucking cares, dude?
Yeah, exactly. Who fucking cares? Who fucking cares? Yeah, honestly though, like if we're not gonna show us that, like, oh man,
I'm cool with the time gap. I just need more than Luke spent 40 years just.
You need world building.
Indiana Jonesing.
Yeah, but we didn't even
after failing to make a school.
It's time for the Jedi to die. Well, you're the only one that was around, so it was just you before, so what do you like, well, I've got to stay back just in case I accidentally train anyone.
It would have been one thing if he was like, yeah, we can't bring back the Jedi Order because he looks back at what the Jedi were at the prequels. That would have been one thing, and I would have been able.
The foundation of Luke's character is that he doesn't give up, and that he sees the best.
That is true,
and that he shows, which is why, like the scene about him almost murdering his nephew, like people defend that, dude. I constantly, like, I'm not that guy. I don't get into Twitter arguments, but like I cannot help it whenever somebody defends that scene of him igniting the lightsaber, and he was like, for the briefest moment, I thought about murdering my fucking nephew in his sleep, and I'm like, dude. And then people always argue, like, you're saying, like, Luke Skywalker, the son of the chosen one with all of his anger issues, he wouldn't briefly think about murdering his nephew. Yes, that's what I'm saying, you fucking idiot. That's what I'm saying. He would not fucking do that.
No, you're right, because he did bring his father back from the dark side.
And he stopped, like, exactly, like, he fucking had so much restraint. He was like, Father, listen to me. Like, I can feel the good in you. I feel the conflict within. Don't. So what, he just didn't sense the conflict in Kylo Ren as he slept? He was just like, oh, this fucking guy's gonna kill Han. Better end this. Like... Why?
He's like, not my Han.
Yeah, exactly. Like, come on, man.
Dude, I just thought about another thing that just it's kind of a nitpick with Game of Thrones, and it's actually how it's just along the lines of like you can't write a script like how people talk, but I hate it when like so like two characters that are like, you know, they know each other, or they're related or something, they'll go off and do different things, and something significant will happen with, you know, character B that influences character A, and so then they finally meet back up a season later, and character A will be like, oh, dude, what happened with whatever, and character B will be like, they'll just give like a one-line synopsis, but it won't even be a synopsis. It just kind of won't answer the question, and I guess the reason is because like it is just brevity. Like we already know what happens, so they don't want to just like repeat the same thing that we already know. But to me, like I'm not saying that they should change it. It kind of throws me for a loop because so much of Game of Thrones, so much of the plot revolves around like what characters know versus what they don't. Like this character might know something and this character might not know it yet, and that gives them the tactical advantage in their politics. And so like I'm not saying that they should change it. I'm not even like saying it's a negative thing. It just always throws me for a loop when there's this big heartwarming like reunion, and then like, oh dude, what happened to this super sad thing that we both shared? And
we worked it out.
Yeah, essentially, yeah.
We worked it out. Oh, okay.
Like I kind of just want to see someone run up and be like excited, like look, this happened, or just distraught, like this happened, I'm so sorry, you know.
Yeah, they don't do that at all.
Yeah, they don't, and I don't know what the remedy for that is, because I guess you can't spend the whole runtime of the show like recounting events, but I
feel like it would be in the dialogue. There's ways that you can, because you don't have to show them like going over everything, but you can like have dialogue that like hints that they're about to have a long talk, and then just cut away, and then
you're right,
cut back, and then the other character that didn't know can be saying information that we knew he didn't know. We can just kind of assume that now they're caught up to speed with like literally everything.
Well, with how everyone drinks in the show, they could have easily just been like, "Oh, it's so great to see you." to let's grab a drink. Cut to another character. They come back. Then they're finishing drinking.
They're talking about something. It's like, so damn, he died. Like, yep, and I just told you the whole story. Like that's so easy. Like, you don't even have to do that. Like, you don't have to like flesh it out. So I completely agree with you. Like, I would love to see, because there's so many times where they do just that, and like it's like, do they not wonder like what happened to that character that they knew? Like, he's dead.
It goes along with not saying goodbye. It's like the characters are able to just like verbalize so much information with so little words. It looks like, I don't know, dude.
Where is Timothy? They got him. No,
but it won't even be that. Like, it'll be like something happened at Volantis, you know.
Well, what happened? Whatever it is, we got to deal with this first, and then that's it. Yeah, you're right. That's exactly.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Hardly matters. Yeah, I just, so then it's just so crazy because of the potential that show had that they let. Oh, okay. So this is the next thing that I just hate so bad. Jamie's character arc, dude. Like, he was like, they spent so long giving us such a realistic portrayal of a redemption arc, and I was invested. I was genuinely invested. And then there's that scene in the tent where Tyrion's like, if you go back, all of them will die. And then he's like, I never really cared about him, innocent or otherwise. And I remember just sitting in my chair like, what?
Then why did you go to Winterfell?
Why did you do that? Your hand got cut off. What would you? I was just you being goofy. You were just like, what do you mean you didn't care about people? I murdered the king to save the people.
Yeah,
he started. Ones that you care about.
Yeah, he started mentioning the things that he did as like evidence that he never really cared, and even the things that he was mentioning to Tyrion to convince him that he was a shitty person. The audience can be like, "But you only did that to be a good guy." And then he's like, turns out, nope. I just really like killing. What?
And it's like, dude, I can stand by him going back to Cersei. I really can. Like, sure,
toxic booties.
Sure.
But just like how it happened, there just wasn't enough time for them to come up with a real reason for him to go back.
And the part that kills me is when Tyrion goes to see them after they've died, and there's literally an open space of just no rubble right next to them. Immediately
like
right next to them.
The whole tunnel's collapsing in the scene where they die, and then all of a sudden it didn't actually happen. He can just walk right up to him. His fucking little golden hand sticking out of the rubble, dude. Like,
there's just that one part, the castle collapse right there. That's the weakest part of the entire castle.
Tyrion would be like, if only he would have made 2 steps to the left. Damn it, my brother.
You fools, when will you learn?
You fools, never stand beneath. I told you we needed to get those permitted. None of this was up to code. I told you about the structure. Damn you.
That's so funny. There's a part where when Arya's like serving Tywin in Harrenhal, and like she claims to be the daughter of a stonemason, but she can read, and he's like, funny, most stonemasons I know can't read. And it's like, that sounds really bad. Y'all should be teaching your masons how to read. What the fuck? Like, wait, stop doing that. Like,
show them a picture. Can you do that? Sure.
Well, no wonder every place looks decrepit.
Yeah.
None of their masons can read.
They're fucking cavemen. Jesus Christ.
So they have an engineer show them the blueprints, and they're like, well, you can throw that away.
Well, I can't read.
I mostly go off of, hand motions. Show me what to do with this, and you make the.
This picture isn't detailed enough for me.
Dude, it's also just really jarring watching Sir Davos learn how to read. I mean, like, in real life, there really are people who don't know how to read into adulthood, and that's a failure of our, all of that. But like in Game of Thrones, it's just kind of like, I don't know, just weird to watch.
Sad.
Well, the way that they have their world work, it just seems like you can't do anything if you can't read.
Yeah. Like
everything requires some kind of letter or some ability to like read a sign.
Wasn't he Stannis' like right hand man?
Yeah.
How the fuck did he do that and not be able to read? Sir, there's a letter. I have no idea what it says.
What's even funnier, dude,
but it's for you, I think.
Is he talks about how like his son tried to teach him how to read, and he was like, "Oh, I'll never need that. I made it this far." And it's like, what, dude?
You just learn how to read, bro.
Yeah, like
kingdom comes up. We need your land. No. I know that deed. They told me that it's mine. Did you read it? I can't read.
So we're taking the castle. Yeah, oh my god. Pretty sure all of this Davos is the person that made sure King's Landing's castle was up to code.
Really? Yeah.
Sure.
Looks good to me.
So this green ooze we have underneath the castle, not an issue, right? No.
I mean, not unless, any amount of fire meets it, but what's the point? And then he's asking, yes, what is the point? What's the issue?
He's just like, stone's not flammable.
yeah. He's like, I know that much.
Dude, Sir Davos is unironically my favorite character. Like seriously,
he's a great guy.
I fucking love him, dude. He's
a great
such
guy.
a cool ass dude.
I love him. Yeah.
Scary.
He is the Piccolo of Game of Thrones. Anytime something happens, Sir Davos is somehow there to explain. Jon is a man of honor. That's why he's running out into the field.
I saw him rise from the dead, and to be honest, that was the craziest shit I've ever seen.
If
so
it
I'm gonna
wasn't
ride for him.
for Sir Davos, all right, Khaleesi would not fuck Jon the way that she did. She literally saw him and was like, oh man, he's had some battles. He literally came back to life for his men.
Oh, that's true. Sir Davos was his wingman. He was Jon's wingman. I forgot about that because Jon's a cool dude. So Jon was like, I don't gotta fucking impress you. I'm a king, whatever, and that's why I just came to see if you're worth it. So Jon turns around. You deserve. This man is a king. He died and came back to life just to fight some more. He rode on the back of a dragon.
Like,
somehow.
chill.
Jon's like, relax, bro.
Damn, baby, be cool.
Yeah, be cool. You know what I'm saying?
But he does that for everybody. Every time. If the Battle of the Bastards.
Coolest ass dude.
He's fucking
coolest ass dude.
He's gonna get you laid 9 times out of 10. Sir Davos is gonna get you laid for sure.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Yeah, for sure. If it was when that shot of Tyrion finding out that Dany and Jon are having sex, if that would have been Sir Davos, he would have been like, all right. That's my king.
He would have been like, he took a knife to the heart for that.
Yeah.
I love that scene of Jon and Dany hooking up, and then Tyrion is just outside.
Yeah, dude, go get out of here. Yeah, what are you doing? I'll never forget wondering what that means.
For so
long. I'll never forget, remembering, I'll never forget.
Did he think he was gonna bang Khaleesi?
Yeah, what does that mean?
Yeah, there were so many theories about that. Why would you include that in the show that probably has almost as many theories as Star Wars? There's so many fan theories, and you're just gonna have an ominous look on Tyrion. How are we supposed to interpret that?
He's gonna betray because he's jealous, but it's
and at that time he didn't know that Jon was a Targaryen.
Dude, I really honestly think there was a previous draft of that season where he was in love with Dany. I really think that because there's a couple. I can't think of specifically, but there's a couple of things that other characters will say that allude to him being in love, and he'll be with her, and he'll be no, something else, and then I think there was, and then they rewrote the script and kept those shots. That's my theory, at least, because
no, I think you're right, because there's even when he's talking to Jon inside of the jail cell, and he was like, "So you loved her." So did I. It's just it's moments like that, but they just brush over that, and it's almost like it's kind of sad because they do it in a way that suggests he's literally saying yeah, I loved her, but I'm a dwarf, so I realistically just gave up on ever fucking her, so which is fair. It's truly fair, but it's that's how they even play it. So it's yeah, I think you're right. I think there was a draft where that was more plot central, but they just didn't.
Because a part of me wants to believe that if they had fleshed it out for a few more seasons, that it would have been really, really good. But I the problem is they just ran out of books, and D&D were adaptators, not really writers, and so I don't really know how that would have looked. Honestly, maybe maybe they were struggling to write as much as they did. Maybe the pace sped up so quick because they're shit, we don't know.
I just can't. But the thing about it is,
George keeps telling us everything we say is okay. So.
Yeah.
But then even George was like, "You guys really should get more episodes."
Yeah, he really did. Yeah, he really did.
we think we got it. That's the thing.
He's we're out of ideas. We don't know what.
Do you need some more ideas? You can have them. And it's no, we're good. It's it really just
Star Wars a calling. We're good.
They were great at adapting it, but then as soon as they ran out of source material, honestly, they just showed how much they suck at writing. It just really did, and that's what's crazy because it's really. Maybe they don't suck at writing, and maybe they just got lazy. But either way, even amateurs at writing understands that it deserved, the entire story deserved a better payoff that was more fleshed out, that didn't rush. And it's not even that, because it would be one thing if everybody got what they deserved and it was like a nice happy ending. It was sad as fuck as an ending, and it didn't make sense. So it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Now we're getting John in the Wilderness show pretty soon here.
Oh, God, dude. Who cares? Who the fuck cares, dude?
I swear to God I don't. Not unless Danny comes back and then she offers to take John back in time to stop season 8 from happening. I'll watch the fuck out of that show.
The only thing that is burned into my memory from season 8 is the amount of Starbucks coffee cups I saw. There were so many. I could name 3 off the top of my head. There was, or maybe not 3, but at least a good solid one was season 8 when they are they are all meeting Danny for the first time. All the people of the North, and they're all having that dinner, and she's sitting up there. There's a Starbucks coffee cup right next to her that they had to edit out later, and I just that burned in.
Bro, just leave it.
Yeah,
like think of the fan theories. You know, Westeros Starbucks, dude. I mean, come on.
What about the Night Kings? Like that dragon circle, that symbol. Like what? Not it wasn't a dragon circle. It was whatever the symbol.
It had something to do with the children of the forest,
but it didn't matter.
Yeah, it didn't matter. Yeah.
Because why? Well, you know, we're just gonna give you tidbits of information that would actually help move the story along. But we're not gonna use it.
They don't. Yeah, I promise the mob threatened them to stay away from Star Wars because there's no way, dude. Like John, listen, John being a Targaryen as well as a Stark, the best plot twist.
Yeah,
like it was incredible. I forgot what season you find that out, but that flashback and like
it's in one of the later ones. You know, and what's crazy? Sorry to interrupt, but dude, like that's how, from what I understand, D&D got the job adapting Game of Thrones
because they knew.
Yeah,
right.
George R.R. Martin asked them like, "Who's John's mother?" And they just knew. Which means that to me, like, you would think that would be the thing that they carried with the most love throughout the show. And for the first several seasons, it's true because there's not even like there's the most subtle hints.
Yeah,
you know, just the most subtle hints, and then at the end,
it doesn't do anything.
Doesn't do anything.
Like he didn't have to, like you said, he didn't have to become king. Like he didn't have to. Like there was a way to cleverly subvert that, but it had to matter. But in the end, it was just John and every important person that needed to know to stop him not becoming king. Like it was all of them, and even they couldn't stop the events from happening in a way that transpired to where like it didn't matter. Like no one else found out. Like it's just like no one else knows John's a Targaryen. Like it was just buried with the most important people.
Oh, and then it just became like a secret because Dany begs him not to tell Sansa, then he actually tells Sansa, and then Sansa tells everyone else, and it's just the whole purpose of him being a Targaryen was to create strife between him and Dany. That's the only
meaningless strife,
which was just so dumb, dude. Like,
yeah,
and even that kind of like justified Dany for me. Dany was like, "Listen, I hope you understand. You can't tell anybody this. Like that wasn't even selfish. That's just realistically like it could cause problems. Like at least until this war is over, don't fucking say anything." And Jon was like, "I won't." And then he does.
Yeah.
I'd go crazy too. I wouldn't, you know what I mean?
I'm a man of my word.
Yeah.
Just kidding. I'm going to go gossip with my sister.
Immediately started gossiping. Like, dude, if I was Dany, I'd be like, everybody's against me. Like, I would think that shit too.
Also, I love they killed Varys off. And then Tyrion afterwards was like, he was right. He was right the whole time. I should have followed Jon. It's like, shut up, dude.
Shut up, dude.
Like, no one knew this because how could we have known?
Literally. Everybody keeps telling you she's crazy. And I was sitting there the whole time like, I mean, no, all of this is very, like, pretty tame,
why is
honestly.
everybody being so mean to her?
Literally,
like,
every time.
The only thing she did wrong, quote unquote, was kill the Tarleys.
I think they just couldn't figure out how to top anything after having, you know, like, Joffrey and then, what's his name? The bastard, at the Battle of the Bastards.
Oh, Ramsay, dude.
Ramsay.
Yeah.
Oh, like, how can you make Dany top that? You know?
Yeah.
That was insanity.
By dropping a nuclear bomb on King's Landing in the form of a fucking dragon. Lazy! Yeah. I hate that. Like, everything that she fucking did, like, I was literally like, Yeah, that makes sense. Like up until the child murder, like everything, like they were just like she's gonna go crazy, and I was like, dude, Cersei just killed her best friend in front of her.
Yeah,
I'd be pissed too. Like obviously, everyone at least in the Red Keep is probably gonna die. Like that's fine. But then they're even treating that possibility like it's too far. Like she can't destroy the whole Red Keep.
Oh, dude, yeah. What? I mean, we've got fucking torture in this show. We've got fucking, just so many people dying.
At this point, death by dragon, just the Red Keep, death by dragon, I expected that. Like, that's fine.
Everybody keeps talking about how crazy Dany is, but I'm like, where? Like, where, dude?
Cersei blew up a fucking church filled with nothing but innocent people.
Yeah.
Like...
Yeah, because a girl wanted to marry her son.
That's it, and she got tricked by the church. That's not anyone else's fault for her for being so stupid. Like, dude, that's literally.
I also really liked the High Sparrow as a villain because, you expect in a show like Game of Thrones, like for a religious figure to be corrupt and like have some sort of like dark underside that they like, have all these secret dealings and do these bad fucked up things. But I really liked how they kind of, I guess, subverted that. I mean, that's the case with every religious figure in every show. That's what they do. But the High Sparrow was just 100% devoted to his religion.
Yeah.
Which I thought was so sick. Like he just actually, in their terms, was obviously a bigot, obviously, but in their terms, he was an honorable and religious man. I thought that was so cool. It was just so cool to see this like high religious person just walk around in those shoes, like actually live out the things that he's talking about. I thought that was a
and try to force that onto the society, and then obtain power and like the most. Yeah, I agree. I think he was like a really great villain, and he did foul shit. But that's what I'm saying. Like all of these villains in the show, you can make it to where, like, so Dany is going too far and we need to stop her without her being the worst villain on the show. Like there was still a way to do that. Like she wasn't going to be as bad as Ramsay. That fucker was the worst. Or Joffrey, like obviously, but like she could have still became a threat. But the problem was it's really hard to, in the time that they have, set it up to where we want her to be in line when all these other characters are just going crazy, like doing like horrible shit. Like no one cares about King's Landing, no one cares about the Red Keep, no one cares about Cersei. You could have like. It's only because they showed you close-ups of children being barbecued that you care about King's Landing at all. Like it's not.
For the entire show, they have constantly made it very aware that King's Landing is just a disgusting, awful, crime-ridden place. But then all of a sudden, when she's attacking, all the children that have ever been there came outside that day.
Yeah, I've never seen children in King's Landing. They don't fucking exist.
I don't know. I think that's another idea that should have been explored more, because one of the things I liked about Marjorie was when she was queen, she like, she'd like go to the orphanages and like, give out presents and offer aid and like, so I mean like there was a good side of King's Landing, but again, it's just one of those.
Well, again, her doing that was for political exposure.
For sure, yeah. I'm not
still playing the game,
but it does highlight, like you were saying, like that there is like good people inside the city. Like the city has character, basically. To be explored. Like that even
because like then you're saying I would have cared more when she's blowing up the city.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, and like again, dude, like if they would have just actually made her go crazy, if they just fleshed that out,
I would be invested.
Dude, imagine if she like burns King's Landing and then like has like, because I always like I watch the show and it just feels like such a missed opportunity, and like I just always like speculate.
That's why House of Dragon nailed it with that ending of season 1 where you're like, I 100% see why she's about to go off the deep end and kill everybody.
Oh yeah.
Well, I just found out my son was murdered. Yeah, you're all about to die.
Go, dude.
yeah, exactly. Like I fucking
her face at the end of that season. God,
that was hype. And that's true. Like Dany, like even though like you watched your friend die, that's awful. I'd go crazy too. But like to your credit, like if it was like a scene where it was like a child. Well, wait a minute, her dragon died.
Yeah,
and she didn't care as much,
dude. Like so, man.
I mean, like the conflict is there. The conflict is there, like between.
They just don't. They don't dive into it.
Yeah,
it's all surface level.
Because like it should have been more foreboding. I think when the moment came for her to either destroy King's Landing or not, it should have been more. Like, it should have been up to the point where we'd be like, oh. Well, I understand that she's doing it. Like, she would just decide to do it and be like, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
The whole thing should have been she's struggling with the morality of the choice Because like the thing is just like destroying King's Landing wasn't even an option. Like it wasn't something that was on the table. Like no one was like, all right, Danny, when we get there, remember, don't burn down the whole place.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Don't kill all the children.
Just like, in fact, they did say that at once, and then like Danny writes it off as a joke. Like it's literally like, obviously, I didn't come here to rule over the kingdom of ashes. She literally, and then the next scene is like, it's ashes raining from the. She lied, I guess. Like, you know, and I'll tell you this because I thought about this, or I actually just thought about this right now, but I've thought about the ending a million times. But I think I figured out, you know what would have worked way better? If she would have done that. Like, the whole thing is still the same. Like, she hears the bells and she just does the same thing that we saw. She kills everyone at King's Landing, but then she's still crazy and she's like, what did I just do?
That
like,
I was thinking the same thing. Like just overcome with remorse or something.
Literally, like you could keep everything the same, and
you could still have John kill her, and it'd be like, I can't deal with what I've done.
Yeah,
and she's like asking him, and it's like, dude, that would have been so much. Like, I feel that now, just in theory. So like,
and then use his honor against him to force him to do it.
Yeah, dude.
He shouldn't have been
that's
so
good, dude.
That's
or like,
so good.
or even if she does become a tyrant and she does destroy I just need to see that fleshed out more. Because like, I'm cool with that too, but I need to see her becoming more and more of a tyrant. And like, you don't see that. Like, yeah, maybe she's a little harsh sometimes, but that's literally everyone in the series.
Yeah,
you know,
literally everyone.
I mean, like, what's so crazy is before they sell to Westeros, they're in Essos in the Pyramid City, and you know, while she's away looking for Drogon, Tyrion strikes up a deal with the Masters from the town over that was used to be conquered, but now the Masters have risen up. And so he comes up with a deal saying that y'all can keep slavery around for 7 years, and then after that you gotta abolish it, so that gives you time to prepare for it, so that you can set up like a system that benefits all of the people, blah, 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 blah. And then they betray him and attack the city. And like, they request a surrender. And then the 3 headmasters, show up, and then she's just like, "No, we were saying you guys were going to surrender." And then the dragons, they kill 2 of the masters and send the other one back. And it's like no one was stopping them from doing that. We burn a couple Tarleys. It's the end of the fucking world, and it's supposed to justify. Like Tyrion was literally there killing these guys
because it was white people.
No, seriously, like Tyrion doesn't give a fuck about these. About these weird exotic people from Essos.
That's true. That's true.
But when it's a white person, like he's like,
this is too far.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
That's true.
Do you know the privilege that man was entitled to?
Yeah, really, dude.
That is true. I
also
just thought
fuck
about
the
that.
Tarleys. Straight up, just fuck the Tarleys.
Yeah, fuck them.
Yeah.
Their armor looks stupid. Like, if we're gonna get into all the reasons their armor looks stupid, the dad's a bigot. The son was played by 2 different people. Right, they fucking shit on Sam their whole lives, and then when you see him again, the son is played by the guy from the buff dude from Umbrella Academy.
And then all of a sudden they're this crazy honorable group, and you're like, so the younger Tarly brother that just keep getting shat on the whole the whole show, like. But it's okay.
Also, why was Sam sad? I mean, I get, like, being sad that your family died, even if they were really shitty to you. But, like, he stole the sword. He stole their Valyrian steel sword and then dipped and was like, fuck my family. And then they're like, oh, hey, by the way, your family's dead. He was like,
I cannot forgive this woman.
Yeah. It's like, dude, she did your ass a favor, bro. You are literally lord of the Tarleys now. Well, I guess not, because he's in Castle Black, or he's a whatever. But, I mean, come on, dude. Like,
it's still...
No, he left the wall, didn't he?
No. Oh yeah, he did.
Yeah, he left the wall
to go to the Meisters.
But he was training to be a Maester for he was still bound or whatever, because he has to get pardoned for going.
That's right. But that's still just like, Dany was really just trying to match, like, because she from the jump was only like yeah, maybe she enjoyed killing every now and then, but like, that's a grimy ass world to just not kill anybody. Like, you gotta do some killing sometimes. Like, yeah, she crucified the slave masters, and I'm like, the slave masters?
Yeah, we're mad that she crucified slave masters.
That's awful. But some of the slave masters were good, and I was like, listen, I don't know what you think slavery is,
but no.
But even if that is true, I still would probably be like, listen, man, why'd you have slaves? Yeah. I just thought that they would be good. Why wouldn't you just free them?
And then the whole plot was that it didn't work because, like, they killed all the masters, and then there were only the rich people left and the former slaves, and there was no system in place to... It's like, you're the queen.
said it.
Yeah, like, I don't know, maybe
all of these advisors you have around.
I mean, like, not to get really political, but reparations. You know, I mean, if we're gonna talk about it, you know, like, you know, that's something that applies to real life and fake life. You know?
They could have done that, and it would have been like.
The whole problem was
instead we're gonna have ex-slaves come up asking if they can be re-slaved.
Yeah,
because that's a more interesting story, right?
That's so terrible.
She could have been like, okay, well, let's create government, you know, funded programs that
housing, anything.
Yeah, like,
what do you need? I'll do whatever it takes to not put you in shackles again, you idiot.
Yeah,
like, that's why I'm not gonna do that.
He was just like, I remember that guy. He was like, I loved my master's children like they were my own. And I'm just like, why?
You should get therapy.
Yeah,
that's not my fault.
I mean,
like, because now I have all this free time in the day and it's awful.
I have no purpose. It's like, I don't know, dude. Find one. Teach other people. Teach children that were former slaves. I don't know.
You can literally adopt a child now.
Yeah,
literally.
Yeah. And God, dude,
I don't want my freedom. Okay, like Danny's like literally, dude. The more we talk about this, the more I'm just like, wow, Danny must have been going nuts. Just like I don't know what the fuck you guys want me to do. Like I keep losing. I keep trying everything. Like what the fuck do we do? I would have, man.
Yeah.
I've got dragons. You know that, right? I haven't used these until season 8, but I've had 3 dragons this whole time.
I really like the Sons of the Harpy plot too. Like I like them sneaking around with golden masks. I thought that was really cool.
Oh yeah,
trying to cause havoc.
Yeah, I thought that was. I mean, they're like kind of Trumpy, you know, like in that regard.
I think so. Yeah. Oh yeah, I do remember now. Yeah, and they were trying to overthrow the fucking. There was like the last scene that they were in, weren't they doing like a coup or something?
Yeah, it just never made sense. All of it doesn't make sense because it's just like, and it shows up in the fighting pit. I have dragons.
Literally, that's what I'm saying.
Every argument ends. I have a dragon.
I have a drinking game. Rewatch the last few seasons and just take a drink whenever somebody forgets that Danny has dragons. You know, because like people be acting real bold.
That's what I'm saying. They're just like, but if I slit your neck right here, my dragon's right there.
Right. What do you mean?
He's right there.
God,
why the fuck? Like,
sprint across 20 yards real quick before the dragon can just stick its neck over. That's what I'm saying.
Like, not even Drogon would just like rest on top of a cliff sleeping. Like, if anything happens, just yell.
Yeah,
I'll
he barely has to do anything.
He does not have to do anything.
People talking like Daenerys is crazy because she's killing all these people, but they keep trying her, forgetting she has a dragon. What the fuck were like one of the prime examples, the Tarleys? What were they doing, dude?
I won't bend the knee. And Drogon's on the cliff. Are you serious? He's like, dude, just bend the knee, dude. Like, you fucking kidding? All right.
Tyrion's like, throw him in a cell. It'll scrub all the bold notions.
And Danny's like, no, fuck that.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Bend the knee right now, or I cook you alive.
How many times has Tyrion been thrown in a cell and still had bold notions?
Yeah.
All of them, every single time.
He conspired against every single time.
Yeah. If I was that, yeah, absolutely.
Every time he got put in prison, he was just like, man, I'm going to get back at them motherfuckers.
Yeah, really, dude. Like,
literally. Like, there's no way. Like, no, just.
His logic was flawed, and he was at fault for his own flawed logic.
Every time. Everything he suggested. I could just imagine being Danny. Everything. Like, as soon as Tyrion was like, why don't you just put them in a cell? Daddy would just look at it and like, Tyrion, the last 8 things you've suggested have fucked me over. Shut up, I'm killing these 2. Like, he just had bad ideas toward the end.
The only good part of this has been Jon.
Yeah, and he's not here right now, so please step aside.
But even then, arguably, because like all of the ends of the season, she's my queen.
Like, God, I hated that so much. And then he was just constantly going behind her back and just like, so she's trying to do this,
but don't start a coup.
Yeah, because she's my queen.
She's our queen.
He'd just be like, Sansa, I know that you're really just like kind of gossipy and like really just trying to like, you know, like the whole time that he's king of the North, she's like not undermining him, but like, I have a completely different opinion and you're not listening to it, and she's gonna go do her own thing anyway. And so he's just like, okay, well, it'd be a really good idea to tell her this big secret that could ruin everything, you know?
Listen, Sansa, I know you love to gossip, but listen, I'm actually a Targaryen and I'm the heir to the throne. Okay, bye.
Yeah, maybe I should talk to Arya, who I don't know what the fuck she's been doing this entire time.
I have to let them know that I'm not a Stark. But
you are.
You fucking idiot. Also, and then you were a Snow. So they.
Also, Arya goes to King's Landing to kill the queen, but the dragon gets there first. Like, why wasn't someone just like, You know, because like she meets up with everybody. She's like, "Yeah, I killed the Freys with my like super secret faceless men thing," and no one thought to ask about that and be like, "Okay, well, can you kill the queen?" Because she could have just gone and killed the queen, and then
because in the books they've used the faceless before, like so people know that they exist.
And that would have been, if they really wanted a plan and they didn't want to kill people, or if they, like the best, why wasn't the first plan to send Arya? Arya just killed the Night King. Whether that was bad writing or not, she should probably also just take care of Cersei for us, please.
Yeah.
She like, literally got past an entire army and killed the Night King.
She got past like
single-handedly.
An army of zombies. The whole show she's fighting through hordes of zombies and snuck up on the fucking Night Demon. The Night King, like a literal, like the devil himself. Like, yeah, send her to go kill the fucking useless 30-year-old Karen Queen. Like, she can do it. She can fucking do it,
bro. Dude, I love fuck, I forgot what I was gonna say.
Fucking.
Oh, I love that scene where she is trying to run away from the Faceless Men, and they send the daughter. She's running away she's like running away from the Faceless Men, and she's in a crowd of people, and she's looking around, and like any one of those people could be a Faceless Man that's gonna kill her. Any single one of them. Which just, you know, like that could have been another good horror moment. Like, you know, just,
that's true.
And it is kind of presented like that. There's a lot of tension in that scene, and it's done really well. But like, what if it was horror?
Yeah. That's a good point. That's a good, like, there's so many, that's what I'm saying. Like, you have a great point. There's so many potential, like, moments for it to turn into that. Because, like, the action in there is already, like, true action is pretty few and far between. Like, true action and not just action for the sake of shock value. Like, oh, I didn't know a battle was going to happen here. But like real action set pieces, kind of few and far between if you think about the whole show in general.
Well, you definitely can tell some of it was because of their budget earlier on, but
they spent it all on props, dude. Yeah, that was the first thing I noticed when I started watching it. I was like, dude, like I'm just sitting there thinking like how many people it took to build all of this. I'm just like, Jesus Christ, dude.
Yeah. That's true.
You know.
I just, man, thinking about it again, that's a great point, dude. If she has dragons and she's trying to save people, even if it's not working, dude, like, if it were me and I had 3 dragons, I would end the show by, like, they were probably grown by, like, season 4 or 5, whenever the Coliseum, as soon as I saw how big Drogon was, Drogon's back, all right, let's go to King's Landing. Yeah. Drogon came back, all right, we won, let's go get King's Landing. Fuck this place. That would have been
the first thing, it was King's Landing. I wouldn't have gone to the north. I immediately just torched the capital, and then been like, all right, now we move.
I would have blown up the whole Red Keep.
Just the Red Keep. Kill the Red Keep.
And I would have got off my dragon, I'd be like, all right, so I'm the king now.
They literally wouldn't know about the dragon until they saw it off the coast, and then it'd be like, oh, what do we use? We have nothing because we didn't have months to plan and hear that she was already in the country.
They also wouldn't have hired the Golden Company, which made it seem like a big deal, but it wasn't because the dragon just blew it up. You know, like
he kills one dragon, but then Drogon's like, okay, I think he fucking just unlocks like a fucking scorpion evasion. Like he sees it and immediately learns the skill and just like fucking blows up. Drogon by himself blows up all of the scorpions.
Dude, have you played Halo Infinite?
Mm-mm.
Yes. You know the big gun with the big pointy.
Yeah.
What is that called? Anyway, that's what those crossbows, the giant dragon killing crossbows, feel like to me. Because you shoot it once and you miss, you're like, oh fuck,
you're just running, fuck. I can't imagine like. So he just, I don't know what the fuck.
Also, it just doesn't make sense to have that shit on a boat. Because for the projectiles they're using, that means that they would have a literal forest on their boat.
Yeah, really.
Of just projectiles. And it's like, you can't... You would have no food. You would have no water. You would have no other supplies. It would just be those on the boat.
And that's just for 3, like, shots that you'd have. You don't have room for more than 3 of those.
Yeah, like, where are they even keeping them on the boat? They were gigantic.
I'm just honest to God.
Movie magic is just like an invisible pocket, like in a video game when a character's like, "Oh, thanks for this gun," and it just disappears.
She's like fucking Grand Theft Auto, and you just have a rocket launcher in your hand. Casually, dude.
Fucking presses triangle and fucking shoots an AK.
Sorry, guys, my inventory's maxed out. I have 3 harpoons in here.
Jesus, dude.
But I'll move on to House of Dragon. So it took me a long time to get invested with House of Dragon because like I just thought everyone was awful.
Yeah, I thought that was a really good good point.
Yeah, like it was like, and it's not that
they're all awful.
They're all awful. Like it's not, and my point was never that it was a bad show. I did end up completely coming around because they did a bunch of amazing, like the scene at the last episode for season 1 with the one-eyed asshole and the dragon. That was a terrifying shot.
Yeah,
of like
that shit was crazy.
That shit scared the shit out of me just watching, and that whole scene, like one of the most honestly traumatic experiences.
Yeah, you're just like, oh no.
Yeah, to see a child just chomp.
Yeah, I was that's and the dragon too. Yeah, that's awful, but like that is great. But like in the beginning, I was like, all right, who am I rooting for? All right, so that guy's a piece of shit. All right, then the main Rhaenyra is like, all right, so she's cool, but she's sleeping with her uncle. I don't want
to her best friend
and lying to her best friend, and then and maybe her best friend, but is her best friend fucking her dad? Who is the good guy? And it's like, all right, so here's a knight. Okay, yeah, he's gonna be the good guy. Then I find out he's an asshole. Yeah. He's the worst one.
God, is he the most petty of them all?
Such like an incel in the show, dude.
He's just like, that stupid cunt. She slept with me and she didn't want to marry me. That stupid hoe. She keeps sleeping with her uncle, and it's like, dude, chill out.
Go to a brothel, dude.
Yeah, fucking relax, dude.
I know that guy's gay because I would be on her ass all the time.
What the fuck are you
saying? He just immediately was just like, I know that guy's gay because God, I would just never leave her side.
Dude, my favorite thing, ironically, in that show is the time gap when she's a little girl and then she's grown, because it's like some of the actors, they just like keep the same actor and maybe do a little makeup on them, and then other performers are just like completely replaced. And so the first time I saw the first episode after the time gap, it's Rhaenyra, and I'm like, who the fuck is this?
Grown ass woman.
It took me half the episode to be like, oh, that's Rhaenyra. Like,
same actually, because she's giving birth as soon as you see her.
Yeah,
so
but
like, right,
but then the knight, what's his dude? I can't remember his name.
He looks the exact same.
Yeah, he's the same fucking. He looks
Kristen
the same.
Cole, yeah.
And it's like, get like at some point in your life, you definitely age slower, but like, I mean, come on,
he looks exactly the same. Exactly the same.
Yeah, he slept with a 16-year-old, and then he was after that.
And he was angry at her about it, like, stupid 16-year-old cunt.
Yeah, really,
like, dude.
I can't believe she was horny.
Yeah. Oh my God. And the king was like, "Well, I don't want to have to marry a 9-year-old, but God damn it, if it's for the kingdom."
Dude, does George R.R. Martin have kids?
I hope not.
Yeah, because imagine being George R.R. Martin's kids and then reading his books and being like, "Dad, what?
Why? Yeah, why is this?
Why do you want me to fuck my brother?"
I don't. God, dude, I keep seeing this thing on Twitter where like someone will write a pretty questionable piece of literature, and like one of the comments for it will be like, the writer's thinly veiled fetish.
Yeah, it's like it when they all have an orgy in the tunnel in the book. Just so that they can get over their fear, so they have to bang Beverly one at a time.
To this day, I can't believe.
You don't know about this?
First time you've heard that too?
What?
Yes, dude, that's a real thing. Stephen King put a child sex orgy in the book.
Defends it to this day. He's like, it's important to the story.
It's not important to the story.
They're all in the sewers, trapped in the sewers, mind you. They can't get out. So they're like, oh no, all of our fear is going to get us killed. And Beverly is like, I got to get them all to work together.
Okay, so have you seen the show Yellow Jackets?
No, not yet.
It's my favorite show right now. Awesome. It's just really good. It's because it's kind of like these high school soccer team that get trapped in the wilderness, and like these scenes of like teenagers, and like they're definitely struggling to survive, but they're still teenagers and they're navigating the throes of being in I guess pubescence or whatever, and like they're like then there's scenes of just actual fucking horror, just like the craziest shit you've ever seen go down.
Oh yeah.
I think this is about that wrap up.
Yeah, it's gonna be hell for me to edit this.
Yeah.
But yeah, all right. Well, so yeah, final thoughts. I hate Game of Thrones now, and that sucks because the thing about it is like my final thought truly is that how bad if an ending is bad enough, it can retroactively fuck up your rewatches of it because you know what's going to happen. So that's why I was interested, and you said you watched it all the way through. I can't bring myself to do it. Was it worth it, do you think, to restart it?
Yes, because as bad, I guess, as I think the ending of Game of Thrones is, to me, like, there's more good than bad in it. You know, because, like, when you're watching it again, I mean, there's, you know, like, every episode's like an hour long. And so every time you watch it, like, you catch new things that happened, and, like, you're, like, having a really good time watching it. I watched it, and I didn't, the first time through, I guess I missed the part where Liza Aaron reveals to Littlefinger that Littlefinger convinced her to kill Jon Arryn, which was the Hand of the King, which is why Ned Stark went to King's Landing in the first place, which is why he died, which is why the whole place broke out in war. I didn't catch that, which I should have, I just didn't.
Yeah.
But no, I definitely, because, like, the thing is that, like, up until, I mean, even around season 5, things start to get a little hairy because, like, some of the dialogue starts getting a little weird or whatever. But, like, up until then, and even past season 5, like, it's just a good show. And honestly, had anybody else, like, to give D&D credit, man, like, if anybody else had adapted the show, it more than likely would not have been good. You know, and so for me, like, you know, we had those several years of just be like, this is the greatest show in the world.
So that's what I want to end it on us all talking about is like, so you would say it is worth the rewatch in your situation because you watched the whole thing, so you would say it was not only worth it, but it gave you, like, it was a good experience. I haven't done it, so that's,
dude, do it. And then even at the end of the show, like, where the plot's getting a little shaky and the dialogue sucks and Tyrion's just getting paid to be there, like, the action sequences are just worth waiting through the dialogue, like you know, because you're less invested in the politics now. Everybody's just being stupid, but, like, you're watching Arya run through the streets of King's Landing just getting obliterated. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And, you know, the Battle of Winterfell, I didn't like it the first time I saw it, but I rewatched it. I was like, okay, actually, I'm kind of really digging a lot of aspects about it. You know, I really like when the Dothraki's on their flaming swords go in, and I think they kind of color corrected it. You know, they brought up the brightness a little bit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think they did.
Then I'll watch it because there was no way I couldn't see anything. I remember looking back, like, okay, I turned off all my lights. I turned up the brightness on my TV. I was like, no, it's still nothing. That's crazy. What the fuck is going on? I'll watch it again then. Okay.
Maybe time for a rewatch because I still... Overall,
have you
season 1 through
it?
5, not
okay.
yet.
I haven't.
Season 1 through 5, I still have very fond memories of.
Same.
Season 6 was the season where I started noticing, like, a lot of things just going by really fast and kind of just being TV tropey.
Yeah.
And I was like, maybe they're just leading this up to, you know, the end, and then it just kind of went off the rails as we know.
Yeah.
But because of House of Dragons, I would definitely say it's worth a rewatch just because if they keep that show going the way it is and it's way closer to the book this time around, I'm very excited for all of this again.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't have the best, like, you know, the season 1 of Game of Thrones had, like, all that shock value with Ned dying and stuff, so you're really kind of captured. House of the Dragons didn't really have that up until the last episode when her son dies, but I think it could get better. I think it could get a lot better, and not that it's even bad. You said, well,
they got through a bunch of stuff they needed to get it to the part of the book where most of the stuff happens.
Yeah.
So, and, like, Viserys, King Viserys was incredible.
Yeah, he was great. Yeah,
I loved him. Like,
he was a sad man. He was haunting after a while.
Yeah, his last moment of the dinner with the family.
Yeah, that was good.
So good. Amazing acting and, you know, amazing storytelling for a point where, like, everyone is literally, you know, planning behind his back against each other, and he's just like, "You're supposed to be a family." Yeah. What the fuck? So
I hate that I looked up what happens because now I'm just like, I know how the Dance of Dragons ends.
They say it in Game of Thrones. There's so many scenes where they talk about Rhaenyra and what happens to her in the show.
I don't fucking want to see that. Yeah. God, she's like Dany. She didn't do anything, dude. Like, I'd be fucking crazy too.
It's like Joffrey telling Sansa what happened to her, and she's like, oh, well, you know.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy. Well, all right.
It's fucking Joffrey, dude. Fuck Joffrey
for
ruining.
That guy. Yeah,
for
honestly.
those of us who haven't read it, like,
fuck that guy. Damn. Fuck him. But, like, yeah, well, all right, I guess we can, like, so that'll be my takeaway. I'll watch it again. I'll give it a go. I do have fond memories, but hopefully we've convinced someone else to Send D&D hate mail because they deserve it. All right, love you guys. Bye.